the idea is that the nanotechnology enables diagnosis to get a lot better, diagnosis where it needs to be diagnosed, and it also gets a lot better in targeting drugs directly to the place where they need to go. Well, I think one of the beauties is to move nanotechnology more to the point of care end, or to the very end where we are getting away from the one-size-fits-it-all of administering one drug, one oral drug that is supposed to treat something at the end of the foot, and that has a lot of systemic side effects while it moves through the body.
So the sort of thing you'd use is a shell, a hollow shell, where you've got molecules that self-assemble to form this hollow structure. Then the drug molecules you have to get in the middle. Now, you've got to get the shell to be robust, it's got to be physically robust so it doesn't break apart. But it's got to have a coating on it that stops the body recognising it. And what you do for that is that you put a little layer of hairy molecules, like kind of hairy coat, that stops proteins sticking to it and stops the body recognising it in that way. These are called stealth liposomes, some of the ones that are used already, because they're kind of this stealth characteristic. The problem is to get a drug molecule, and the drug molecule is probably going to be very toxic, particularly if it's an anti-cancer drug. These are very nasty chemicals. You've got to get that chemical, you've got to get those molecules, you've got to wrap them up in a container, you've got to put them in the body, you've got to have that container not be recognised by the body's defence system, so it's got to slip through the defences unseen. And then when it gets to its target, it's got to be able to release the molecule so it can do its job. You'd like the vehicle to break up, releasing its payload when it gets to the place where it's needed. So, for example, an anti-cancer drug, when it gets to the tumour, you'd like it to break up there. And that could happen through a trigger like heat. So if the tumours are sometimes slightly hotter than their surroundings. So if you arranged it so that the heat made the vehicle break up, that would work. Another thing that people are trying is using light. So if you illuminated the tumour from outside with a laser, then that light could trigger the vehicle to break up. So there are quite a lot of different ways that you could try.
That is the very essence of nanotechnology. Only when you make them below a certain size and hit the nanometer range do the particles have a property that makes them unique in what they are.